Yeah, Lori, there actually was a vote in the House shortly ago on a measure that would be, well, a way to try to generate revenue and help close the gap when it comes to where the state is going to be spending money. But the bottom line is that the governor's $53.3 billion budget proposal would rely on using legalized cannabis and taxed and regulated skill game revenue to help balance the plan. But there is time that is not going to be available at the end of this month. Essentially, lawmakers are fighting the clock.
Leave our people alone.
It's June at the state capitol, and that means rallies,
the state playoffs that are of like
groups lobbying lawmakers for action,
So you notice he's red, black, and yellow?
and even zoo animals from across Pennsylvania. And much like the speed of this sloth, lawmakers are slowly moving toward a budget deal. Jeff Smith with Montco Normal is asking lawmakers to legalize adult use cannabis, arguing it could bring in at least hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue each year.
I think the time is now, and we need to create legislation that will pass, and the budget would be great.
Legalized cannabis does face some opposition from Senate Republicans, though. And some fear efforts to tax and regulate skill game machines might be on pause because of an impending Supreme Court ruling on their legality. Some Republicans argue it's time to look elsewhere for revenue.
I hesitate to see how vice taxes really solves the problem that we're distracted from, which is the governor proposing massive spending increases year over year without realistic revenue proposals to actually make the dollars work.
What other alternatives might be in play? House lawmakers Tuesday, in a bipartisan vote, passed a 5% gross receipts tax on companies that do digital advertising in the Commonwealth.
It stands to bring in hundreds of millions of dollars, somewhere between $500 and $900 million, which in this building, I've been here about 8 years, and I have to tell you, usually we are talking about the opposite side of the coin. We're talking about how we can stretch a dollar and make it go even further.
Well, in short, the big debate here is really how much money to spend on this year's budget. Lawmakers and the governor really trying to avoid a repeat of last year when we had a months-long impasse that delayed billions of dollars in funding going out to schools and counties across Pennsylvania. Here in Harrisburg, Tom Lehman, WGAL News 8.